Okay, so I talked about what the news that's going on right now, but I think what the most important thing that's been kind of news is rumors. It's not like it's official about the James Harden and James Harden. Well, let me just say Russell Westbrook asked for a trade last week, and he asked to be out of Houston. And now reports are saying that he is James Harden is he. I don't know if he officially said that he wants out, but it's looking like he does, and saying that he wants to get traded to Brooklyn. Now, I just want to put this out there. I'm from Queens, right? So I got love for Brooklyn. I got love for the Nets, but I think on paper this team, if James Harden gets traded, if James Harden gets traded to the Brooklyn Nets, I think the teams need to watch out. I think everybody needs to watch out because if he gets traded to the Brooklyn Nets, it might be over, right? It's like you got two MVPs, and you got a superstar in Kyrie Irving. That is a team to watch. That is a team that could get to the finals. But there's also a thing about this that I don't like, and it's no disrespect to James Harden because James Harden has been MVP candidate the last couple of years. He is a former MVP. He's the average 30 the last couple of years as well. I think the problem is, and I think what the situation is, that I don't want him in Brooklyn because it just like on paper it seems good, but I don't know how that's gonna work because you got to look at it and consist of that. James Harden, when he got traded to Houston, he played with Dwight Howard. He played with Chris Paul. And he played with MVP, his former teammate, currently his teammate, and former teammate in Oklahoma, Russell Westbrook. And now he's gonna be going on a team where he's gonna play with his other former teammate, with Kevin Durant. My thing with that whole thing is that when you got two MVPs and all these guys, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, they're all ball handlers. They're all gonna want the ball in their hands. So the question is, who's gonna take the last seat? Is it gonna be KD? Is it gonna be James Harden? Is it gonna be Kyrie? And they're all three of them gonna want the ball in their hand. My personal opinion, like I said, no disrespect to James Harden, is this. I think this team. I think the main primary of this team, and if you agree with me, if you don't, that's fine, is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is coming off an Achilles injury. People say, we don't know how he's going to be. To be honest with you, I think KD has a lot to prove. I think he has, people say, with the move that he went to Golden State, that was kind of like a sneaky, I don't want to use the B word, but it was a move. But then he proved himself winning those championships. And then last year, that he went to Toronto, that he played, the Warriors played Toronto, and he went out there and he injured himself, and then he ended up leaving to go to Brooklyn. And people are saying that now him going to Brooklyn, now he has the ability to kind of right people wrong. And I think with KD, I don't think he cares about that. I think for him, it's like, I think low key he does, but he's not gonna straight out say that. But I really think for him is like, I want to see him win in Brooklyn, and not because I'm a New Yorker, not because I'm this, because he chose this team. He chose to go there. He's not on a team like Kyrie Irving. He went because of Kyrie, but this team was the Brooklyn was a team. They made the playoffs this year. They were a team that has been great throughout the years, has gotten better, and I think adding him there, he has a lot to prove. And I think like he's gonna go out there, he's gonna shoot, he's gonna show people that he still got it. He's only 32. I think he's 33. He might be 33, and I don't know how old he is, but he's around that age. But I think honestly, Kevin Durant is a guy that he is gonna be the center of that team. As James Harden comes. James Harden, when KD comes back, he might not be fully formed, and that's where James Harden can step in. But the reason why on paper it looks good compared to how it's gonna look is because the thing is, James Harden has been to the playoffs. He's been to the playoffs so many times. You can say so many things about what James Harden has done in his career as a Houston Rocket. He is probably one of the greatest scorers will go down as one of the greatest scorers in the game. He's an like I said, he's an MVP candidate, and what he's done for the Rockets, the franchise player. But the reality is that he hasn't won. He hasn't won, and he couldn't beat the Warriors even when KD went down. He there, and I'm not saying, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect him, because he's he's one of the best. But it's just like you just look through the facts. The fact is, he played with Dwight Howard, who Dwight Howard at the time, was, that's great. It was a superstar, one of the best centers in the league. He played with Chris Paul, and now he played with his teammate from Oklahoma City, the former MVP as well, as Russell Westbrook. So him playing with all three guys, great guys, and now he's going through a team where he's playing with another guy he played with Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma, is Kevin Durant. Now, the question is, how's that going to work? How is that those two guys who were the main guys for their teams that they were, how are they going to work consistent with the ball? And knowing KD's ego, knowing Kyrie, with Kyrie, I think Kyrie is like understandable. I think he understands, because this whole team, to me personally, it's a KD team. I think that's Kevin Durant's team. But the whole thing with with James, if James Harden gets there, I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know. It might be, to be honest, if they can't get along and share the ball, I think James Harden has to be the one that has to take a step back, and I think he has to understand, like, you're a great player, you're one of the greatest, but this is Kevin Durant's team, and I think KD is if KD is gonna try to show that, and I know he, listen, to be honest with you, both of them can have 30 in the sleep. Right? They can drop 30, and so can Kyrie once Kyrie's healthy. But James Harden, to me, it needs to take a step back and let KD be KD. And I think, like, take a step back, don't take a step back, like, all the way. But, like, be yourself, but, like, just pass the ball. Like, be kind of like the point guard central a little bit that you were in Houston, but you gotta let this be run around KD. Let it show that you guys can play together, and two MVPs on a team, they should be able to win. They should be able to get to the finals. They should be able to win. And I think when you look at the Lakers, and yes, AD hasn't won an MVP, but AD is a superstar, and he's one of the best big men in this game currently today. Let me repeat that, currently today, and I'm not saying all the time yet, but currently today. AD, even though he's younger than LeBron went out there, and we all knew that Lakers team was LeBron's team, no matter if they got AD, and they were able to coexist, and I think with Brooklyn, they gotta be able to do maybe one, I saw what Houston was doing with James Harden and Russell Westbrook, and it didn't work out because they were playing, also, one, they were playing small ball, and two, it's just like, you can't, Russell Westbrook needs the ball in his hands, and I think that's the same way when it comes to Kevin Durant, with Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant's going to want the ball in his hands, and he's going to want to finish, he's going to want to do this. So, like I said, we don't know. The trades, nothing officially happened. Nothing has happened. We don't know if it is actually going to happen, but that's what the rumor is saying, that James Harden wants to go to Brooklyn. And yeah, like I said, on paper it's great, but compared to now, it's I don't know. It's not that. Compared to like what I just told you, it will be interesting. But like I said, I will cheer for Brooklyn because I'm a New Yorker. I'm gonna cheer for Brooklyn, and I'm just gonna let you know right now, those tickets ain't gonna be cheap now, because those tickets probably rise since KD got there. So that's enough about that. Last thing I want to talk to you guys about is what's happening this week with the NBA. Wednesday is the NBA draft. It's gonna be It's gonna be on ESPN. It's gonna be 8/7 Central. This is the first time the draft's gonna actually be virtual, not live. Well, it is technically live, but you can't go there. But it's gonna be very interesting to see. A lot of great talent there, and see what happens. And you never know what can happen at the NBA draft. Also, Friday starts NBA free agency, where players have the opportunity to, players, will have to decide what they want to do, opt in. Some players already opted out, but so it's gonna consist of where, free agency is always that time where, like, yo, like, who's going here, what's gonna happen, and it's very intriguing when it comes to free agency. And last year's free agency was crazy, like a lot of things had happened. Yeah, I don't want to get into it, but that was crazy. That was a crazy summer last year. But the season, the other thing I want to talk to you about is the season. So the season starts December 22nd, and that's gonna be very interesting to start. It's, that's opening night. There's also breaks around March 5th to 10th. The season's supposed to end March 16th. Then, you have the play-in tournaments like they did in the bubble from 7th to 10th seed. And then it says the finals supposed to end. The finals supposed to start July 8th and supposed to end by July 22nd. Like I said, it's interesting. It's crazy because usually we're so used to having finals in June, but this year obviously it was in October and the season just ended. My personal opinion about that is that I understand where players are coming. I understand, like, everybody wants the NBA back. Of course, I want the NBA back. I love the NBA, but I would have waited till New Year. I mean, I think the reason why is that because it gives players, more time. I know, yes, they had the time during during quarantine. Yeah, and most of these guys went to the bubble. Most of these teams went to the bubble. But I think it just everything that's happened this year, everything that's gone through, I think we just want to get into the new year. We just want to start, a new year. And I think it would have been great to have a season start. But like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it's every season it's been interesting. This year has been so interesting with the whole COVID and everything that's gone through happened this year. And like I said, I just hope the season and what that bubble did to those teams, man, it was very intense. It was very entertaining to watch, man, and and that was crazy. I was happy to watch, but we're gonna see what happens this for the 2021 season. And it's gonna be, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is my first time doing a sports video, so we'll see how it goes. If you like it, give me a like or give me a comment, and subscribe. Thank you.